we get home, we're turning on and watching the game. So we're not going to interrupt the game to watch you fools.
Nice. Well, I was not at that press conference. Were you at that press conference?
I wasn't at that.
Were you at that press conference?
He was looking directly at me.
I thought so. Welcome to the Red and Blue Review. Howie has been outed on the show. Welcome to Basketball 101 with the two professors of all that happens in college hoops, especially on Planet Blue. Here's the mayor himself, Daryl Bird.
With a take on Planet Red, and actually I'm a little afraid to make fun of Louisville because I'm afraid Howie Lindsey will go all Malcolm White on me and LSU takedown, and Howie will be ejected and me and Gary have to do the show alone. But that might be all right.
And Howie Lindsey of the Louisville Sports Report with a take on what's been happening on Planet Blue.
We finally figured out how to stop Anthony Davis. I just don't think any other team should try it. I think the guy got ejected, right?
Yeah.
Not good.
All right, we got a whole lot of stuff to talk about, including Kentucky and Louisville getting big wins as we jump into the lightning round. Well, who's hot, as Daryl and Howie mentioned, was how physical that win Kentucky had at LSU was. Malcolm White with the biggest tackle since the national championship game for LSU. And Cal's been saying for a while that his team had to play tougher or they're going to get manhandled. I would say mission accomplished.
And we're getting manhandled and winning close games, so they think it's okay. So my thing is, let's take one on the chin then. Now what you going to do? You're going to say it's okay? I don't think they'll say it's okay. So that was my message last night. Hey, if this doesn't start changing, we need to take an L. So you guys will come together as a group and say that's enough. Stop. We're not doing this anymore.
I think John Calipari can put the "we're not tough enough, we need to take a loss" to rest. Look at that play. This game was brutal start to finish. Kentucky not only answered the bell, they took it and put it on LSU. All the players got angry about this play. They said, "You are not doing that to my brother," and they really laid it to LSU. And this talk that we're not tough enough, teams are manhandling us, and we're not responding. Sorry, Cal, you got to find something else to complain about. Mission accomplished. This team is really tough.
Daryl, what kind of basketball fan is Malcolm White? I mean, come on, you're about to see this 6'11" guy run down the court and dunk. He should have just wanted to watch him dunk the basketball.
I know.
Much less make a tackle.
I don't know what the kid was thinking, and I don't know the answer. May never know on this one. Anthony Davis, another play, went down and took a knee to his head hit the back of the player's knee, and there he went up for a dunk and got absolutely karate chopped on the face. Tough day for that kid. He was probably pretty sore the next morning.
Wow. All right, well, who's hot for the University of Louisville is Gorgui Dieng, and I'm telling you, this is one of the few kids in college basketball who gets more rebounds than points just about every time that he goes out. And Rick says there's a lot of players in their starting lineup. They can move in and out. Gorgui is not one of them.
It really doesn't matter who we start, except for Gorgui. We've got to have him on the floor as much as possible, so it really doesn't matter.
No, I really like that soundbite, frankly, because it's so different than what we heard at the beginning of the season. At the beginning of the season, we heard Peyton Siva is the one guy that absolutely has to be in the lineup. Now it's Gorgui Dieng. He has to be on the floor, especially with Rakeem Buckles out, Stephen Van Treese out. Gorgui is everything for Louisville right now in the post, and he just did a great job against Seton Hall.
Who's not hot is Cal saying perhaps he himself is the worst coach in Kentucky basketball history. I believe tongue firmly planted in cheek. A lot of those Cal bashers say that all he does is kind of roll out the ball, and Cal says that's actually a pretty good compliment for him.
History will tell what kind of job you've done, what kind of young men you've molded, how they turn out, what you've done in the communities where you work, on the campuses where you work. It all comes out. And so I'm not, someone wants to say I'm the best, I'm saying, come on, cool out. Someone wants to say I'm the worst, I said, have at it. Maybe I am. We'll see. And if they keep saying, well, he just has better players than everybody, the connotation he can't coach, that's okay. Then I've done my job because they're saying my players are better. Then I've done what gives me satisfaction.
And we're spending part of today's show looking at some broader themes on the UK side of it with a big win over LSU, Tennessee coming up Tuesday night. And one of them is the reputation Cal has. Well, he just recruits players and lets them go play. Proved last year that's not the case because he took 6 people and beat Ohio State and North Carolina on the way to the Final Four. And this year, this team, based on what we saw against LSU, oh my goodness, if they are putting it together, if he's getting them to come together as a team right now, look out. These guys may be really, really good for it all over.
Who's really, really not hot? Did you have a take, Howie?
I have to interrupt here because did he just say history will show how you left the campus and how you left those programs? UMass, Memphis.
We're not talking about UMass and Memphis. And
Wow.
Howie, he
Wow.
was wait a second. He was never connected with wrongdoing.
That is true.
Never connected.
That is true. He is a better coach than I think people gave him credit for.
Yeah.
The other side of that argument, I don't know.
But we don't know that. That's the thing about now. Look, when if Cal gets Kentucky in probation, then I think we got an issue. Right
got it.
now, it's a straw man. Now those two programs were pulled off. Final Fours were taken down. I get
Right,
that.
right.
But Cal
That's
was
how he
never
left
accused
those
of wrongdoing.
programs.
Well, but the fact of it is, he was never connected to wrongdoing, and you got to be fair about
Yep.
that. He was never connected to it. Okay, let's move on. Cal Kirk. Aren't you glad I let him go back in there? Cal Kirk. He's the guy who is not hot. He has missed 16 of his last 22 shots, and Rick says that's affecting other parts of his game.
You'll see Kyle rebound better. You'll see Kyle run better when he makes his shots. The last game was a very poor performance from Kyle in terms of offensive rebounding, in terms of running, because his shot wasn't falling. He can't fall into that class because he's a senior. He can't. And, Kyle was really off last game. I don't mean shooting off. He just had one of those nights where he was.
He didn't really pass well. He didn't really shoot all that well, and I think it's now 2 games in a row because that was before the Seton Hall game, and it's just he's in kind of a funk, and I think they need to try to get him out of it. He certainly does not look like the homecoming king, the King Kyle's corner over in the corner, just knocking down shots like he has been in the past. So he's got to figure something out with that shot. They're defending him a little differently. He's got a ball fake or do something.
The buzz at the University of Kentucky, Darrell hinted to it a moment ago. Terrence Jones, 27 points. Let me tell you something. If that kid starts scoring 27 points a game, nobody's beating these guys between now and the national championship.
Now, Terrence Jones had a huge game today.
Big game.
How much difference is this team when he's playing like that?
Well, obviously, we're a totally different team. And because the other guys all did their thing. They all played how they play. But he stepped it up, which is why we were good today.
Thanks, Coach.
He stepped up, which is why they were outstanding that day. They weren't just good. He had 27 points. A couple of games ago, Anthony Davis had 27 points. Kid Gilchrist went off for 24 and 12 against Louisville. That's the front line. That's not even counting the guys who knocked down the three-pointers. He played as well as he played in that very first exhibition when everybody was saying, oh, National Player of the Year. Remember how great he was that day? We haven't seen it until this. And you would say, well, it's just a nice game. But this is on the road in the SEC, and he plays that well. He played fairly well the game before that. So keep an eye out for Tennessee game Tuesday night. If he keeps this up, look out, guys.
Darrell, it's one thing to play physical against Transylvania.
Yeah.
It's another thing to play physical in that game against LSU.
And LSU was big. You look at those guys, I don't know if that's the way the jerseys are cut, but they look like they just took them all off the D-line of the football team and trotted them out there.
Well, what is the buzz at Louisville is Wayne Blackshear. We still have not found a sighting of Wayne Blackshear anywhere, and it's starting to be a little bit of a running joke in the U of L locker room.
Wayne is an accident waiting to happen. We had Kevin Keats put the computer out with Wayne's picture for the players to see because he's been missing in action and to get some more laughs and because he keeps getting his stomach virus. And Fred tells him to stay away from milk. He has milk and he gets it again. And so there's always
Milk.
Milk? I mean, what in the world is going on? Here's the thing. He just took lactose intolerance to a whole new level. Most people drink milk if they're lactose intolerant and get a little gassy. He can't play basketball. That's amazing. I don't know what's going on with Wayne Blackshear at this point.
I'm telling you, the Yum Center was built on an ancient burial ground. Something is...
It's that UK fan that buried one of their jerseys there or something.
And you can't even put Blackshear's picture on a milk carton because it'll make him sick.
That is true. Missing. Just missing.
Too funny. Hey, Howie, let me ask you about this. Clay Abels wants to know. He's one of our Facebook callers. He says, hey, Howie, what do you think is the best possible seed Louisville can have at this point going into the tournament?
Mustard seed.
Mustard seed.
Now, come on. Now, here's the thing with Louisville. I think that they could get all the way up to like a 5 or a 4, depending on how they finish the rest of the Big East seed. But if you look at RPI, Sagarin, and that kind of thing, it picks them to go about 5 and 5, 500 the rest of the way in the Big East. If that happens, then they're probably 7, 8, 9 seed.
Yeah, these guys are going to be getting wet for Special Olympics here in just a couple of weeks. Darrell, you're going to be on your home turf in Lexington on the Polo Plunge on February 18th.
Same day the UK plays Ole Miss. Please help me, SOKY.org. We get to drown Howie for a reason. You just can't beat that. All those snarky little Calipari comments the last few weeks. we can wash them clean in Lexington.
You guys will turn me blue one way or the other.
That's right.
Yeah. It may take a while. It all benefits Special Olympics of Kentucky. Go to SOKY.org. There's a red and blue polar plunge challenge. It's your way to make a contribution to those with intellectual disabilities who want to compete in the kind of sports that we get to cover all the time. When we come back, Richard Pitino plays a very big role in this current Louisville streak. This guy plays a big role in what happens with the Cat's Paws and the big recruiting week coming up this week.
Absolutely. CatsPaws.com. You have to be there this upcoming week. A 30-day free trial is still underway, so if you ever want to test it, now is the time. Wednesday is signing day, the biggest day on the network. It will absolutely blow over with millions of hits on this day across the country as people are checking on the next wave of football players coming in. You need to be there all day long and in the days leading up to it. I can't even keep up. The stories are coming so fast and furious of late signees, guys they're trying to get on, and then the stories that will follow after signing day as well. Keeping up with those. That's all there at catspaws.com.
Have you driven a Ford lately? Well, stop by Allstate Ford and test drive a new Explorer or F-150. Or visit us online at allstatetrucks.com. Allstate Ford, on the Waterson at Poplar Level Road.
If you're like me, you're dreading the thought of higher energy costs this season. That's why I call my friends at Doug Jones Home Improvement, who's been doing quality work at a fair price for over 40 years. Doug Jones Home Improvement offers maintenance-free replacement windows, insulated vinyl siding, and airtight entry doors. They're priced fairly with no high-pressure sales tactics or hidden fees. Doug Jones Home Improvement prides itself on keeping the weather outside while keeping you comfortable inside. For a free estimate, call us at 366-0291.
When you need a truck, Bachman Chevrolet is your truck headquarters. I'm Teresa Bachman. Even during our construction, we have more trucks than any other dealer. Silverado, Colorado, Tahoe, or Suburban, Bachman is your #1 Chevrolet truck dealer. Nobody beats Bachman's price or selection on any Chevrolet, including Traverse and Equinox. Chevrolet has what you need, and Bachman Chevrolet has what you want. Bachman makes the difference.
Kentucky Corner is giving UK fans a new cheer this season.
Pink!
Think Power Pink when you dress Big Blue this season. Kentucky Corner is the only place to find hot new colors and styles the Big Blue Nation craves.
Polka dot!
Kentucky Corner is in Louisville, Lexington, Ashland, Florence, E-Town, Clarksville, Paducah, and with Kentucky Corner online, there's a Kentucky Corner on your corner.
Join the club at Sam Swope Auto Group. When you service a vehicle at any Sam Swope dealership, you automatically become a Service VIP Rewards member. You get member pricing on parts and service, lost key return, and emergency roadside assistance. Plus, you can earn points that qualify you for discounts on your next vehicle purchase, up to $2,500. The best part is becoming a member is free. Become a member today at any Sam Swope dealership. Nobody walks away because everybody saves.
The 2012 Bluegrass Golf Tour Card is available now. Play 8 great courses for one amazing price. Call 502-964-2121 or go to shop21live.com to get yours now. Hurry, they won't last long.
You guys say that. I don't say that. Have I said that?
Yeah.
I have said that?
50 times.
I have said it 50 times? Yeah. Well, really, I just rolled the ball out if you want to talk to those guys.
Hey, Cal, I know what you say, man. That's all I do. I just roll the ball out for these two and just let them fight over it. Welcome back to Red and Blue Review. About to jump into our Game Time storylines. Our topic, building a great team, back on track, no selfish Wildcats, and developing consistency right now in our Game Time storylines. Coaching an all-star team is not as easy as it looks, and that's essentially what Cal is doing every time the Cats take the court.
To get a mediocre group to play together and become a good team, there's a bunch of coaches. And I'm not saying this in regards to me, but to get the all-stars, like Phil Jackson would do, to play triangle offense and then defend together and communicate together and have breakfast club together. That's the challenge of what we do. Coaching becomes, how do you get the best and get that group to really come together, sacrifice for one another, be their brother's keeper, and
Yeah, we're continuing on our themes. This is an area I don't think Cal gets nearly enough credit. Okay, you bring in the best 5 freshmen in America, you got to get them to play. together. I mean, they're used to touching the ball every time, being the man and all that stuff. He has to blend them, and really you have to break them and rebuild them the way you need to in a team concept. And fortunately, he's got a couple of sophomores and Darius Miller around to help that cause this year. But just year after year to take the very best players and then get them to play as a unit, that is really hard to do.
Well, the Cards appear to be back on track after struggling just a few weeks ago with, I think, Howie, was it 5 losses in 6 games? They were, they were stumbling
4 out of 6.
Yeah, they were stumbling along for a while. Well, 3 straight wins now. It appears the Cards are back on track, both winning and having fun.
We were having a blast when we were 12-0, and we were miserable when we lost. And they wouldn't even have had a team meeting if Richard didn't make them have a team meeting. Richard told me after the Providence game, you guys need to get together with yourselves, have a team meeting, and come to grips with this. They wouldn't even done that.
Happy days are here again. Hey, we're winning again. Here's the thing. The trouble with this is Syracuse is on the horizon. UConn's on the horizon. I mean, there are games out there that, but I do think there's something to Louisville kind of getting right, chemistry-wise, emotionally-wise. They're finding more scores. I think they're building confidence back in the type of team that they could become. They've looked like a top 25 team the last couple of games, and I couldn't say that earlier this season.
Well, it is a small list of players, honestly, who could play at the University of Kentucky. Of course, as Darryl just mentioned, they have to be among the best players in their class. They've got to have a little bit of an ability to take some coaching, if you will, and they've got to be really unselfish.
Every once in a while, I'll see a kid that's selfish, that's not a good teammate, that you have to be here. Because my question to all these recruits, do you want to win a national title? Yes. Can you do it by yourself? No. So you got to be on a team with 8 or 9 other players like you, which means you can't take every shot, you're not scoring 30 a game, and it's not going to be all about you. Is that right? Well, I kind of want that. You know, so that's where you kind of...
Cal's finally sold it, and the kids are getting, for one, they have to, on the recruiting trail, they have to be able to detect, is this kid going to be a good teammate, or is it going to be all about me? And if it's all about me, they'll just go on to somebody else, because there's enough out there, and they've been really good at determining who makes a good teammate, who doesn't. Some of them, like Terrence Jones, had to grow up a little bit last year when it wasn't all about him. He went through some struggles and growing pains, but that's just part of it. But then just to get them to all come together and to understand what, I think it was Cal's very first year, you have to get these kids to understand you don't have to score 30. If you score 10 and your team makes it to the Final Four, your NBA stock goes up because more people see you, and that's what he's doing.
You know, Darryl, a lot of people ask us, since we have a chance to talk to these kids, what they're really like, and I think it really goes back to what Cal's talking about in that bite. If you look at, especially the kids who are in this year's class, MKG, delightful kid, Davis, a delightful kid, Darius Miller, and he's obviously an inherited player for Cal, but he really has sought out to get those kind of players because that's what you've got to be to exist in this bubble that is UK basketball.
I got a feeling they know they can have their pick or close to their pick of who they want, so they're really careful on what kind of teammate, because they do not want to mess in the locker room. That would, that'd destroy a team. You don't want that.
Well, with a lineup that is more or less now apparently set now for the Louisville Cards, it appears the Cards are developing some team chemistry.
We've had so many changing lineups, so many problems, so many difficult situations that are just put together. This is the first time in the last 8 or 9 days where we've been consistent in practice. We've been consistent in what we're trying to accomplish. We haven't had a lot of moving parts, so it's been a lot of fun for me as well as the players.
As you get those folks slotted into their spaces, now everybody is better understanding their role. It's great to hear Shane Bohannon come in and say, I have to rebound, I have to be tough in the low block. It's great to hear Gorgie Chang say, all I want to do is rebound, block shots, and clean things up. It's great to hear Peyton Siva say, I'm going to hit a jump shot every now and then, I'm going to distribute the ball. And Russ Smith is even talking about passing. I mean, we know people are figuring things out when Russ Smith is talking about passing.
When we come back, Kentucky's difference maker is still in high school, and Louisville's difference maker is a Patino not named Rick. We'll talk about that after Howie tells us about CardinalSports.com.
Exactly what Darryl said earlier. This is the biggest week of the year for football recruiting, and you're going to want to check it all out. If you're a Louisville fan, you have to be on CardinalSports.com this week. All about football recruiting. Charlie Strong is right on the edge of getting another #1 class in the Big East. They've got some 4-star kids out there, and we're going to be covering signing day from 6 a.m. on CardinalSports.com.
The 2012 Bluegrass Golf Tour Card is available now. Play 8 great courses for one amazing price. Call 502-964-2121 or go to shop21live.com to get yours now. Hurry, they won't last long.
Have you driven a Ford lately? Well, stop by Allstate Ford and test drive a new Edge or Explorer. Or visit us online at allstatetrucks.com. Allstate Ford on the Watterson at Poplar Level Road.
Join the club at Sam Swope Auto Group. When you service a vehicle at any Sam Swope dealership, you automatically become a Service VIP Rewards member. You get member pricing on parts and service, lost key return, and emergency roadside assistance. Plus, you can earn points that qualify you for discounts on your next vehicle purchase, up to $2,500. The best part is becoming a member is free. Become a member today at any Sam Swope dealership. Nobody walks away because everybody saves.
If you're like me, you're dreading the thought of higher energy costs this season. That's why I call my friends at Doug Jones Home Improvement, who's been doing quality work at a fair price for over 40 years. Doug Jones Home Improvement offers maintenance-free replacement windows, insulated vinyl siding, and airtight entry doors. They're priced fairly with no high-pressure sales tactics or hidden fees. Doug Jones Home Improvement prides itself on keeping the weather outside while keeping you comfortable inside. For a free estimate, call us at 366-0291. Kentucky Corner is giving UK fans a new cheer this season.
Pink!
Think Power Pink when you dress Big Blue this season. Kentucky Corner is the only place to find hot new colors and styles the Big Blue Nation craves.
Polka dot!
Kentucky Corner is in Louisville, Lexington, Ashland, Florence, E-Town, Clarksville, Paducah, and with Kentucky Corner online, there's a Kentucky Corner on your corner.
The 2012 Bluegrass Golf Tour Card featuring Chariot Run, Bardstown Country Club at Maywood, Rosewood Country Club, Indian Springs, Cave Valley Golf Resort, the Falls Golf Resort, the Bull, and Stonecrest Golf Course is available now. Get your golf tour card and play 8 great courses with cart for one low price. Call 502-964-2121 or go to shop21live.com to get yours now. You can play anytime, but you must get your golf tour card now.
The difference maker in this week's University of Kentucky football signing class is Highlands quarterback Patrick Towles. He tells me that he thinks he will be ready to start as a freshman next year, and Paul Hornung agrees.
You know, I think it'll be next year. I think definitely that will be decided, you know, in the summer. Depends on how well I learn the offense and, you know, how quick I can pick it up. But I think that I have the talent where I can compete in the SEC next year.
I'm glad to see Kentucky's got this type of kid at quarterback. I think that, you know, they can put a lot of pressure on this kid. It's not going to hurt him. He's used to pressure.
If you're the grandson of Jim Bunning, you probably are used to having people watch you since you're the grandson of a baseball Hall of Famer. 45 touchdown passes this year, 1 interception. That's remarkable. The kid is 6'4", 230 as a high school senior. So the body is ready. The question is the knowledge of the game, and he has to beat out Maxwell Smith, Morgan Newton, guys like that. It's going to be fascinating to watch because they need something. He's a Kentucky kid, and UK Joker really needed that. They need somebody to come in that gets the fan base energized again. And I haven't heard as much hype. The fan base should be as jacked up about this as they were Tim Couch. This kid is good.
Hey, and if you say you can't win in the SEC with a freshman quarterback, Kentucky won with a wide receiver at quarterback. So it ain't that impossible. Well, the difference maker for the University of Louisville is this current success for the Cards can be traced back apparently to a players-only team meeting that was motivated by the other Coach Pitino.
Chris definitely said a lot of things. Peyton said a lot of things. He actually led the meeting. Kyle put his 2 cents in a lot. And Gorgie, surprisingly, probably 40% of the meeting was Gorgie talking a lot. And he had a lot to say. And that was important. We had guys that you don't really hear talking too much on the court or even off the court.
So Richard Pitino goes to these guys and says, hey, you need to meet by yourselves as a team, figure some stuff out. And apparently they did. Now, I have a hard time believing that Gorgie Chang talked for 40% of the 2-hour-long meeting. I can't hardly get him to say too much at all without smiling and laughing and looking away. And, you know, he's just... Maybe he did. Maybe he did talk for 40% of the time. I think the big thing there is Chris Smith got some words in. Russ Smith got some words in. They figured that part out of it. I think, too, Chris Smith, after this last game, we was talking about we're a better team when everybody scores instead of one guy scoring 30. And, you know, I think that was a very telling quote, and I think these guys are living by that now. I think you'll see 4 and 5 double-figure scores from here on out for Louisville.
Howie, should we be concerned that it took an assistant coach to motivate that player meeting rather than a player initiating that?
A little.
Yeah.
Certainly. I think what you're seeing from Louisville is that Kyle Kurick's not a talker. He's never been a talker. He didn't say anything for the first 2 years he was here. So I think he is the captain, but he's not a talker. So I think it took a coach to say that. I think in years past, like Preston Knowles, he didn't stop talking.
Yeah.
You know, so he would just initiate that meeting on his own and threaten to beat everybody up during the meeting and all that. Kyle Kurick's not that kind of guy.
All right, for your marketing pleasure, the University of Kentucky unveiling new uniforms, at least a short-term version of new uniforms.
Yeah, the Nike, I guess Nike has nothing else to do, keep making uniforms. This is supposedly for the elite programs out there that are worthy of wearing silver metallic uniforms. The last time they were in gray was a quote-unquote throwback game. Keith Bogans was on that team and they lost, and we never saw gray jerseys again until Tuesday night when Tennessee comes to town. It's neat. The players, the younger players love it. They don't care that much about the tradition of it. The football guys love the black uniforms, and frankly, I did too. And so what? Just have fun with it.
And forgive me for being just a little bit of a naysayer here, but to me, that's all about trying to find some more merchandise that Kentucky fans can consume at a price. Hey, stat of the year, Kentucky's men and women at home over the last 3 years. Darryl, this number is amazing.
Yes, it is.
91-2.
91-2. Wow. Men and women at home. The men are 20-1, the women are 22-1.
See you next time on the Red and Blue Review.
The 2012 Bluegrass Golf Tour Card featuring Chariot Run, Bardstown Country Club at Maywood, Rosewood Country Club, Indian Springs, Cave Valley Golf Resort, the Falls Golf Resort, the Bull, and Stonecrest Golf Course is available now. Get your golf tour card and play 8 great courses with cart for one low price. Call 502-964-2121 or go to shop21live.com to get yours now. You can play anytime, but you must get your golf tour card now.